we can get down to the dirty business that is BetBoom versus Talon Game 2, where our Cowboys are going to need a little something extra to get them through the laning phase, it seems.
I don't get paid enough to do this job.
You don't get paid at all? Your paycheck goes right to me.
Well, don't know about that one. I guess BetBoom agree.
This is your trial year. It's almost done.
I feel like every year for the past 10 has been my trial year. I don't know how to get out of this trial contract, man. It's rough out here. But it's looking pretty good for BetBoom going into Game 2. They got all the demons in the world, Cap. The Doom, the Pugna, the two heroes I said don't give this team, well, they gave them to him. And they got the Shadow Demon, Triple Demon trifecta going. That's a lot of scary faces for me.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why you pick the Brewmaster. Because what do you do when you go up against scary things in life, Cap? You drink enough alcohol until they are dealable.
I thought it was going to be something about the fun, fuzzy nature of Brewmaster.
You drink and then they don't seem as spooky and you can confront your inner demons. And that is what Talon have to do here.
But what about the lore?
What about the lore? Would you like some lore?
You've got the prime evil of demons here, Doom, Shadow Demon. But your versus the biggest bad demon of them all, the demon that the other demons imprisoned in the Terrorblade.
That's true.
Yeah. That's how you deal with the Shadow Demon Doom combo. Throw Pugna in there, because why not? He looks spooky.
So I guess he got out, and they're trying to lock him back up.
Yeah.
Well, time for Terrorblade to have a drink, too. Well, he can.
They're coming for his ass.
I mean, it does feel like you're tempting fate here. Giving BetBoom Doom and Pugna.
I mean, I'm ready to call it right now. Personally.
A last pick Jug in a pretty free Jug game. I don't know. This game looks tough, man.
Did you think the Brewmaster was a good pick?
It does some things for him. Like, this hero is very good versus Pugna in the fights because you can constantly toss them, mess with them. They have Global as well. So they did pick a lot of Pugna answers here. Moonlight Shadow, Mirana also pretty good at dealing with him. Brew is this innate gap close hero that can deal with backline supports. I like that aspect of it.
But if you need to draft 3 different heroes to deal with him, shouldn't you just ban him?
Well, not always, right? Maybe you can gain an advantage through that. You can abuse weaknesses of the hero. I mean, I think Talon have answered the Pugna. I just think this last pick Jug is pretty nasty, and it's going to prove problematic. If the Healing Ward stays up during Brew ult, during meta, I don't know if you have the damage to cut through it, but this lane is already looking way better.
Yeah, they might be able to get first blood. Pure trapped in a corner. They managed to bring him down. Okay, Talon, much better start.
Terrorblade gets some revenge.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're not losing the lane to this Pugna, that's another big factor. Like, you have ways to deal with him in the fight, but you cannot give him that fast of a start where he just gets level 6 on Arcane Boots for free. Especially when GPK is, I mean, this man warmed up or what? He is owning lanes now.
15-2, Makoto. We really need Makoto to, like, step up against GPK, not just to shut him down, but for his own game and for Talon's game. They're so reliant on him, and he has done an amazing job for most of DreamLeague. It's why they're in Group Stage 2 in the first place, why they got some early wins in Group Stage win, was off of his performance. But in order to beat the best, he's going to have to do some heavy lifting.
Sometimes it feels like they're a little too reliant on him.
I agree.
Like, if he doesn't win the lane, the game's just incredibly slow.
Yep.
I think that is something Talon are going to have to look at as they go forward. Maybe you just play through jabs a bit more. I feel like sometimes they kind of leave him on an island, or they don't put him on a hero that they can aggressively play through or abuse the enemy carry. He's just there. And I think this guy can provide a lot more for Talon if they put him in a position where that's possible. But he also is doing a lot in terms of the shot calling, the teamfight utility, and all of that. So, like, you got to balance it out somewhere, too.
I mean, this is a game they need to play through him, right? The Brewmaster Ultimate, you could get the Tornado into Arrow. Like, he's your big team fighter.
Yeah, you can get that Ags online. There's some combo potential. Mirana and Brew's probably the best one. So they have that going for him, too. And if you can just set it up on the supports on BetBoom and Global to follow up, you're going to be really happy.
Instant TP out, Jabs will be fine, and he has a healing salve, so he is doubly fine. He'll come back to lane with decently healthy.
He's playing around with the Drunken Brawler here. Toggle it, you can buff it up. It's going to be some interesting interactions this game if you can get the super high armor or magic resist up. You can get the super high evasion up versus the Juggernaut.
Okay.
You actually just don't do anything in the Omni Slash. The status resist, I think, works when you get doomed. So, in theory, I think it's a very short doom on this hero.
It's an interesting idea. Save. He's going to be run down next. Fairy Fire does what he can to stay alive and do a bit more damage to 23, who may end up dying for this one. Scorched Earth runs out, though. 23.
The Mana Burn.
Oh, Mana Burn wasn't quite enough damage.
Yeah, Pure giving that high five, but maybe a little too soon.
Still, though, it does mean the Pugna's going to come back. Hopefully, they have some regen coming in.
This lane has not gone nearly as well for BetBoom as it did game 1, though, which is a good sign for Talon, as, again, you cannot give the save Pugna a dream start every time, especially with Doom on the lane. That's the other problem. Like, if Pugna won that lane, then Doom is just getting a fast Midas. You're double in trouble.
Yep.
So 23 having a game of Dota here, 2-0. He did not have one last time. He will have one here. Things already looking better. Jabs will get out of that spin.
Yep, that extra movement speed from the Storm, whatever it's called, gets him out of there.
What?
Yeah, the Drunken Brawler form.
Yeah, it's literally called Storm Brawler.
Well, I didn't remember it was called Drunken Brawler.
You even play this game, man.
I don't play Brewmaster. I'll own up to that one.
That is depressing. Why would you just... Brewmaster's one of the best heroes in Dota 2. Fun as hell, stylish as hell, drunk as hell. What more can you want?
I mean, I play him. I don't play him
That
very
describes
well.
me as a person. And Pure is getting
Maybe the drunk part.
low down here. They split targets. They're going to regret this.
Well, they'll still get the kill on Pure, and 23's in a position to get the CS, so.
Double bounty.
Jabs. He doesn't have a TP this time around, so he's got a lot of stacks up on him. I think he's dead this time.
Yeah, that Storm Brawler will not save him here. Despite attempts, that was a Vanguard being delivered. He's having a rough lane stage, but it's not the worst I've seen for Panda. I don't think Panda ever really wins his lane. Unless your opponents are just AFK.
It's not a Panda.
He's a Panda cat.
That's Dota 1.
Well, it's all based on Dota 1 lore, so that's still valid.
Oh, don't let Blizzard hear that.
I don't work for Blizzard or Valve, so I don't care. I'm going to call him Skeleton King if I want to, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay. Uh-oh! Q? Does he see this coming? He does not. Oh, no. Wisdom runes getting stolen.
Actually, they probably can do something about it, and I retract my statement. I thought about that for a little, and I do not want to be sued.
Really stuck on you, huh?
Yeah, I'm Wraith King, yes.
Wraith King.
He is Wraith King.
Great hero.
I don't know what I said earlier. That was the drunken brawler getting to me.
The unknown race of Brewmaster. No idea what he is.
Definitely not a panda.
Definitely not a panda.
Non-panda suit.
Uh-huh.
I think the key to this hero is you actually have to abuse the brawlers. I think there's a lot of Brewmaster players that do not do it nearly enough.
Yeah.
This is his most broken spell. It's about when you multiply it up and get the insane bonuses and how you abuse those in the fight. I mean, of course, good ulti micro is a necessity, but if you don't have good ulti micro and you're playing Brewmaster, you already went wrong.
Yeah. That's why I'm not a good Brew player. GPK is a tanky hero, not so easy to bring down. And they do have to give up on this one. Q should be able to leap his way to safety here.
Just a battle for the rune.
Turn around, arrow, save going in real deep.
Yeah,
Starstorm, still not enough. I don't think that
dead.
last word will do it either.
Yeah, I think he is. Oh, the disruption. Is it enough?
Curse.
Oh my god, it was 2 HP. Toronto, Tokyo bails, save out. Save does not look too happy about that, but I guess he never looks happy.
No. I feel like I've only seen Save look happy when like the enemy makes a mistake.
He does enjoy those.
Yeah.
Talon just gonna run it back. Try and play off the Ember tempo here that there's not a lot of lockdown for.
Makoto does a great job of being super aggro when he's in a position to do so. I was going to say ahead. He's not ahead per se, but he does have a relatively free game.
You could say ahead. He's definitely ahead here.
300 gold, I guess. Was almost not ahead by dying.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting. Maybe a misclick on the minimap?
Had to be a misclick.
Very unfortunate for him. I think he was fine there. And I think he was going to heal and come back on the Remnant, but he will throw that gold back to BetBoom's way just as we were praising him.
This is why we shouldn't have said he was ahead.
Yeah. Well, you said it, so.
You're the one who insisted.
That's
Brewmaster coming in through the side.
Does have ult. Good time to use it. Good place to use it.
He's been spotted. This is awkward.
Do you know Toronto Tokyo's back here?
It's a nice combination. Curse plus the brew.
Yeah, you want long-range spells to proc it. Then you don't have to commit it as deep yourself. Give him a little haze. A little hazy IPA there. Toronto Tokyo. And a lot of space for 23 this game compared to the last one. I mean, winning the lane definitely helps, but they're also just skirmishing, giving him some towers, some camps to farm. Makoto having a better laning phase also will do that for Talon, and suddenly we have a game of Dota, Cap.
We do indeed. I'm very excited about that. We actually get to see these two teams play Dota instead of whatever cat and mouse game they were playing in game one.
Even just gonna brute force this tower down with the catapult. I like this play. Free up some more space for your Terrorblade to use the map. Gonna help you with the power rune control from Makoto, and doesn't cost you too much here as BetBoom are not drastically out farming you like they were last time. The Midas is purchased for Pure, but not out yet. So his acceleration will start, but you're in a pretty happy position with where the Terrorblade is relative to the Juggernaut, which is a very important aspect of this game, because Juggernaut, I mean, he is king for a reason.
He's not a king.
No, he is an exiled Ronin from the Isle of Masks. I'm glad you asked, Cap. Time for some Juggernaut lore. Do you know...
What have I done?
Do you know who sliced his mask in half?
It was a trap.
You fell right into it, my friend. You glorious fool. Do you know who sliced his mask in half? This is part of the Juggernaut Arcana. I didn't know this.
I remember the Arcana. I don't play Juggernaut, so I didn't give a shit.
Well, it was part of... Well, I'm glad you want to know, because you're going to find out anyway. It was part of the Great Sundering. And this is when Sven cleaved Juggernaut's mask in half, almost in half here, and released the souls from within, including the dragon that swirls around him. That's why that dragon swirls around him, by the way.
Shit.
And Juggernaut increased in power exponentially since those souls were released and imbibed themselves in him.
Wait.
And now he is grateful to Sven for cleaving his mask and releasing that power.
So they went out of the mask and into him?
Yeah, they're like part of him now. And
do the souls just want to be trapped?
I'm not a soul expert, man. The point is, Sven ended up doing him a favor.
Like they were finally free, and then they just go back.
You are ruining this segment
prison?
for everybody. Isn't that some great lore?
Great lore. Thank you. Yes.
So let that be the lesson of the day. That's a good life lesson.
Okay.
Sometimes when you think you're hurting your worst enemy, you only make him stronger.
Oh.
So that's why you shouldn't.
I thought it was going to be some Batman, like when we get knocked down.
No.
Get back up.
Tossed into the Doom, but there is no Doom because you got globaled. And now Jabs.
Arrow.
He's going to split on you and hope to turn it around. What is this purple micro? Little lackluster at the start, but he gets a tornado, drags him back. Not a lot of damage off this, honestly.
No, not that much.
Decent utility, and it's going to buy time for Talon to get back in here as Makoto cleaned up stage.
Now they use the Doom. Pure puts it to use onto the Ember Spirits, but that'll just keep Ember Spirit out of the fight, not actually kill him, and not actually save his own skin.
That is something that Talon are going to continue to have to play around here. That global was on point.
That was. Got a lot of practice in game one, I guess.
And that's something that can bail Jabs out. Like, this Brewmaster becomes a very tanky frontliner. When you have Global to back him up and maybe buy him just those seconds he needs to get an ulti off, that is something you can bait BetBoom in with every time. And you're dealing with this tiny blink timing, so another pretty good engagement for Talon. They're going to continue to split the map with the Ember and the Terrorblade. They really would like to get some punish on Nightfall, but I don't know how you do it, really. You just don't have the heroes for it. So you're just going to have to gear up to deal with this Juggernaut in that mid-late game.
Yeah, who builds BKB piercing? Like, nobody can build Basher on this team.
No, they don't really have anything for Sim at all. None of their spells are too effective. Their itemization isn't great. You maybe get some Lotuses. That's about it.
Got him after the slight. The arrow lands onto the puck. Now looks like he's going to take out. Star Storm helps finish him off.
Save is having a very rough game on this Pugna compared to his usual. 4 deaths already. This is what you want to have happen. Slow down the Pugna's early momentum, keep him in a spot where he can't get those defensive utility items online. Because this hero really wants Aether Lens, right? He wants Aether Lens, but he also wants like Glimmer or Greaves, something like this.
Makoto just will not stop. Perched off the shield rune, the arrow is going to miss. GPK now saved by the disruption. That's going to step another slight, another remnant through him. And they do finish him off. The Chains is back up to be able to get the kill on Toronto Tokyo 2. So Talon continuing to play through Makoto after a much better laning phase, and it is working off beautifully.
Yeah, this is what they like to have happen. Bring the supports to Makoto, who's the biggest playmaker. Let the other 2 cores soak up the farm and scale for the late game with jabs on the auras and Terrorblade on the DPS. And it's working out great for him. Stealing a bunch of in from these heroes as well. A little extra value. And Cap, without average production, without clicking on Mirana.
Okay.
The prize is mine.
What do you think he is building this game?
I was thinking that you could use a fast scythe of ice.
I will give you $10,000 if you can guess which item Q is building this game.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's on now,
man.
Notice how confident I am.
I'm intentionally not looking at the screen, so if you want, you can click on Mirano.
You will not get this item. You will not get this item. I don't know why he's building this item.
What? Scythe?
No.
No? Oh.
No. He is building Dagon, Cap. Would you like to tell us why he's
There's
building Dagon?
no way I would have guessed Dagon. Out of all of the like weird items.
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest I've seen. I don't see a Dagon purpose in this game.
Maybe he thinks it's the old Decrepify amplified magic damage.
Yeah, it does.
Right? So, but now it doesn't anymore.
I mean, it's still nice for bursting the Pugna. That's like the only thing I could think. Like, he just wants to get in there and remove save from the fight. Just zap, Starfall, you're gone.
Yeah.
But is that... I mean, I don't know about this one. This is some crazy itemization. Just go double brace or Dagon. I mean, Mirana is universal. You're getting some extra base damage out of this build.
Yeah, I mean, there was this the Void...
Bell lifesteal is irrelevant here. There's no illusion to kill. Very
Global
choice.
Silence comes in afterwards, and the rest of the team is here, so they can protect this Brewmaster. It's going to be another Doom that fails to get the kill, and another time where Doom dies for trying to get a kill.
Man, Talon have done a really nice job counteracting these pure Doom plays this game. Just shut him down completely. And these are the 2 heroes I thought BetBoom were looking the best with. Talon have come prepared, and they've answered them, and it's mainly just been the team gameplay. Like, being around each other in the right time to counteract what Pure is trying to do. He's 0-4-0. Probably the worst Doom game we've seen from him in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Talon have come to play. They brought the Dagon. They brought the numbers. And they are happy to take those engagements, especially when they have the numbers advantage, which they pretty much had every time.
The Octarine is back up for the Doom, so we're going to continue to scale up on both the Juggernaut and the Doom, but we'll see whether or not they can actually beat these heroes in the late game. Arrow comes through.
Oh, zap him. Zap him.
Get away. The Dagon's coming.
Oh. That looked pretty good.
Okay. There was remember we had all these mid-Void Spirits, and we weren't sure what the build was, and some of them did go Dagon, right? That was another one of those universal heroes going Dagon sort of deals.
I do think they benefited from the right click a lot more, and they benefited from the spell lifesteal a lot more.
Okay. But...
Look, don't try and justify it.
Pew pew.
Q just wanted to buy Dagon in this game. It will help them burst the Pugna, which is a big part of this game.
Sure.
So I think that value is great.
Burst heroes before disruption, burst heroes before Pugna saves. Is he actually going to max out the Dagon, though?
That's the question I was just about to ask.
I feel like, you know, like...
I feel like you got to at this point.
If
you just come in.
If you don't need specific early utility items, I think a Scythe would be really sick.
Nah, Scythe's too expensive, man.
Well, Dagon 5 is too expensive.
Yeah, but you like
It's the most expensive
You can
item in the
justify
game.
it because it's the little pieces, you know. Jabs also went back for Midas, so he just wants to keep his farm up in this game. I like the Midas on Brew a lot, actually. Not as a first item, but I think in these games where you know it's going to get slowed down a little and it'll pay off, I think it is a nice item to have on this hero for the XP alone. This hero really needs the extra levels to get to his later ult points. The attack speed is not bad in the late game if you can keep scaling. This hero does end up right clicking a decent amount sometimes, and just being able to keep up with farm when this hero is a pretty slow farm taker on the map and doesn't want to take a lot of the neutral camp sometimes feels pretty good. So I actually like the itemization from Jabs, and he's still going to have some decent aura timings here. Looking for the pipe to buff up his Terrorblade.
Do you think he ever builds an Axe?
That's what I was debating, but at this point, no. I think if you're going to go the Ags, you just go like the Urn Ags or something. And you play for the Mirana setup arrow, but they haven't really needed it. I think they feel as if the fight is gonna go into them, right? Like they're gonna be pushing BetBoom here with the Terrorblade's timings, potentially with Roshan's, and they're gonna force BetBoom into you, so you don't need to run around the map and set up these arrow kills. You just want to itemize for the 5-on-5. Even here, they're gonna poke high ground, force BetBoom back. Well, this is an early high ground poke, right? 20 minutes, you're just meting the tier 3. Arrow lands, actually.
Nice arrow. GPK gonna be slowed down. Decrepify's gonna wear out eventually, and Terrorblade starts putting the damage back in. GPK dies, no buyback either to hold this.
That was a sick arrow. God damn, that's why you don't need Ags on Brew, I guess.
I guess not. Yeah, Q threw a lot of arrows around this game, but finally lands a big one. Tornado comes down, doesn't hit the arrow.
Yeah, remember the Storm can also dispel the Decrep, so even if you don't get the Pugna lift, another tool here. This hero just destroys everything about Pugna in these fights. It's a really nice pick here for Talon, working out well. They really targeted that opening from BetBoom. Get some value. Can you burst Mikoto? You can.
Omni/Doom will get that kill. Disruption, he still has Thunder though, and the spin's gonna run out from Nightfall, so he has to back away. Keep his distance. Meta wears out, but it's not like Talon was gonna stick around anyway.
And the upgraded Dagon flying in. Level 2.
Yo, kill that courier.
Yo, you gotta turn on save here. I would turn on
arrow.
Save. That's a chat play. You gotta send a message. Oh, Q, my man. Oh, Pure trapped himself.
Yep.
Didn't know you could trap yourself there.
I did.
You wouldn't know that.
Yeah. It's because I got stuck there before.
Well, that's a solid push by Talon. They got melee racks out of that at 20 minutes without an Aegis. And you lose an Ember, but that is a worthwhile trade. You'll get some map pressure for the rest of the game.
I mean, this is a much better idea than, like, we were talking about how there is no counter to the Juggernaut spin TP. Well, if you can't hunt him down around the map to stop his farm, just go end it.
There's one idea. Still have Roche you can gobble up here to maybe commit for another push as well.
Yeah,
That's
certainly.
the nice part. You got that for free.
And if they're fast enough, they could do it before the butterfly timing on Juggernaut, which is, I think, where you can start fighting the Terrorblade a lot better.
I think that's part of the reason they're trying to accelerate this game. They don't want to end up in a situation where it's just some late-game Juggernaut Terrorblade battle, which we know is heavily favored for the Jug. Like, you're just not winning that fight. So you got to create some space for you, give yourself more time to win this game, which means the earlier you start these pushes, start getting some objectives down in those Roshans, the happier you're going to be. Maybe another reason Jabs went back for this Midas. Feels like if they do get stalled out, like they're probably not going to win the game off these pushes. They're going to have to do it in the fight, so you do not want to fall too far behind here, and you want to continue to scale with the utility. You can buy some nice utility this game. You can buff up your Terrorblade, help them win that Juggernaut man fight. I can see a world where it goes your way, especially if you're dealing with the Pugna through the Storm Panda and the Global and the Dagon.
And the Dagon.
I like the Q upgraded it here. If you're going to go Dagon, you may as well go Dagon 5, you know?
Sure.
I respect that.
Smoke up Aegis. I do kind of wonder if the Terrorblade should be taking the Aegis, considering the targeting of BetBoom last
Well,
week,
he's
right?
the siege. He's the siege mechanism, so
Yeah, I guess so.
you don't want to let him just get doomed and all in. I think Mikoto, in theory, can play to not get doomed. Even if he does, he might not die. You can global pipe disengage.
God, if you only had a disable. Oh, that's sad. You invis walk up almost melee range of the Juggernaut, but you can't do anything about it. They do get the shard for Toronto Tokyo, so I'm pretty sure they're happy about that. Now they have Demonic Cleanse.
A very good shard this game.
Yeah, that'll...
Especially if you can precast it before the global.
Yeah, precast it before the global, stops the tornado. A lot of good things about that.
It's very difficult to do, but you never know. Sometimes if you start the fight on your terms, you're happy about it.
Man,
Level
Juggernaut
17.
is well on his way to level 18 and soon to be that level 20 talent that the panel
Probably
was
the
talking about.
power of Ancients, I would assume.
Yeah. But the butterfly, it's still not here, and 23 might just go for the high ground after this tier 2.
I think you do. I don't think you want to back off during this Aegis timing if you're Talon. You need to get as much out of it as you can. Pipe and Vessel finish for jabs. Hits another power point of his own. I believe another Dagon upgrade's coming in. It is, so that's Dagon 3. Heating up.
Got to be careful of the toss back, though. There it is. Toss back into the Juggernaut. Global Silence stops any attempt at an Omni Slash here. He still has the Aegis after all. It looks like the arrow landed onto Nightfall. Nightfall almost died.
Oh my God.
Barely got the heal off. Great Sunder. GPK is going to be turned around on. He does still have a buyback here, and the backline's Pure giving up his life to try and kill Makoto.
He's going to live.
Makoto, the Doom is going to wear out, and he's fine. Big win. Now Nightfall using his Omni Slash is in big time trouble. The Scotty's going to slow him down a lot here. I don't think he's going to be able to make it back. Let's see. He does actually manage to, thanks to the Decrep fight during spin, so he's pretty much invulnerable. But they still get on top. The arrow comes through again. A great Dagon to cut him down.
Get zapped, son. That's a message for you from Southeast Asia Direct.
International delivery. Talon pushing down the barracks like they're PSG LGD, man. That's what I like about this. I feel like they took a little bit from some of the other teams.
I mean, this is a very fast pace from Talon based on what we've seen from their average, right?
Yeah.
And they needed it because this is not, again, another game you don't want to just end up going super late with BetBoom out farming you. That's a second melee racks here off a really good timing push. The gold is still staying pretty even, but these fights feel very one-sided. They still haven't found a Doom kill in these fights outside of that bottom one.
Oh, yeah.
Whole game. Pure's impact has been nullified a lot. They don't really have an answer for jabs in these fights in terms of the utility he's providing. The supports can't stand up too far, and the arrows, man. Those arrows are a dream.
Yeah, they've hit some real clutch ones, and he's got a, what is that, Dagon 4 now?
Oh, he's got a Dagon 4, baby. That zap is coming.
One more prong to go.
That must feel so good to just walk in there and zap Nightfall down.
Yep. After you've hit him with like a 5-second arrow.
That probably also feels pretty good, yeah.
Look at how Nightfall's like desperate to try and get out there and find some farm, but is pushed back to the fountain by Talon, who still have the Aegis to operate with. I do kind of wonder if they want to go high ground again.
They just finished the Lincolns on 23. And Makoto's is close. Does have an Arcane Root as well. So they're starting to deal with this Doom and some of the Shadow Demon ult as well. Single target initiation's not as clear cut for BetBoom anymore. Really have to take the long fight, I think. Protect the Juggernaut, play around him, protect the supports. The ward will kill some of these terrible illusions. That is nice for the fight. Stave can clear him out.
Unfortunately, he's already used it once, so 23 is probably just going to keep his distance.
Now their arrow lands again.
The initiation already coming out, though. GPK avalanching, trying to slow down Talon here. 13 seconds till the Aegis is gone. And it looks like Talon will give space to BetBoom.
Don't want to risk ending up in a situation where somebody gets tossed back and your Aegis expires and the meta's running out.
Yeah.
Probably a wise call here. You want to get next Roshan and end the game with that. Getting one more lane of racks here doesn't change much, honestly, of what's happening. You're still trying to close them into a situation where they take that fight and lose the fight at their base. That's what's going to win you the game, not the buildings. Because Nightfall is still finding farm, still building that Juggernaut threat. It is looming. Second Lincoln's done for Makoto. So now Pure is really going to have to think about these Doom initiations, who he's going on. This Ags for him is going to be a very far way away. I honestly think you might want to just doom the Brew, but that doesn't feel great either. You're leaving the 2 highest damage sources up. And there's a chance that he gets pipe. Well, I think there's a chance he survives, which innate magic resists. Cloak of Flames too.
Yeah, he does have a lot.
That's the problem. You have 2 sources of disengage here for Talon between the supports. You have Global and you have Mirana ulti. Either of those could cause pure problems on an initiation on target because he's not carrying dust. Guy just might walk it off. You might not even see him.
And soon you're gonna have an Aghanim Scepter on the Brewmaster, so you're gonna have to pop BKB right away. Otherwise, he might have some Storm Panda out and just tornado you.
Yeah, that's just easy pickings for Talon at that point.
Yeah.
Like you show a core, you lift them up, you arrow him in. BetBoom have to respond. You can let the guy get arrowed and just Disruption Decrep save him. Dagon 5 completed. We've gotten there. Someone's about to feel the burn.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks.
God damn.
Makoto will deal with the other lanes here.
Dude, Dagon 5 has one of like the coolest sound effects in Dota that we rarely get to hear.
Yeah.
That boom.
I'm trying to think what noise the brooch makes. Don't see that item ever.
The what?
Brooch?
You just call it a brooch?
No, I said brooch.
Sure you did, bro. Sure you did. Invis up the high ground from Talon. They do not care.
Wow.
Yeah, these jabs does not care.
That is a fast move. The Doom still in the bottom lane. The arrow's going to come in, finish off save. The Brewlings have this handled.
Does have buy. Quick little Dagon on GPK.
They still have the range barracks up on bottom, so trying to
got the Lincoln pop,
couldn't quite get in. Now he's going to be global silence. Too many disjoints, too many responses. Talon denied the initiation from Pure. Say trying to clear out some of these illusions. Pop up, in the air Q. Get the Dagon again. That finishes off Pure, and he is tanky enough to get out too.
And that Omni Slash did not do nearly enough. 23 still has a Thunder.
Save. He's going to die next. They are running out of buybacks now.
Running out of buildings. One more racks for Megas here. These timing pushes truly on point for Talon as they just get everything from BetBoom in 30 minutes. What a pace they played this game. They just pushed it, never looked back. And now the Ag Scepter start coming in. If you thought this game was hard enough against Megas, another arrow!
Oh.
It's too easy.
You just couldn't see it coming or what?
It's actually just too easy for Q. These aren't even setup arrows.
No, they're not. He's just freestyling it.
I mean, I guess that's why you buy Dagon 5. You land the arrow, you go in, the guy's gone.
I'm impressed, man. I'll be honest, I thought I was going to lose hope in Talon and Tyson.
That's why you buy Dagon 5. You land the arrow, you go in, the guy's gone.
I'm impressed, man. I'll be honest, I thought I was going to lose hope in Talon and Tyson.
But I agree. This is a much faster pace we're used to seeing from this team in a game where they needed it, and they executed it pretty damn well. BetBoom maybe just weren't ready for it. I don't think they were expecting to get pushed down this fast in this game.
No, I never expect that out of Talon.
And that was one of the ways to use that successful laning phase.
Man, great Manta, great global silence on the second attempt at the Doom. They even still had Lincoln, so...
Yeah, everything was on point there for Talon. They read that initiation really well. Even with Pure trying to surprise him with that mana burn to break the Lincolns here on 23. It's just a slow go. You have a lot of time to react here with your utility. And even if you doom 23 Savage there, he might just stand there and fight you back. Like at this point, that's not a guaranteed team fight win. That's just step one. Of course, BetBoom can play against Megas here and still try and get to that fabled 5 or 6 slotted jug. But it's starting to feel very breakable. Once you have that Storm Pan on the Ags, it just goes in. It's going to be a guaranteed setup here for Talon. You throw that arrow in. I don't think you have to even wait for the Roshan. You can, but you don't have to. Double damage on Makoto. Lincoln Spheres up.
30 seconds, why not? Now he's going to go back for Scythe of Ice.
I also really liked how Talon focused on the Doom and the Pugna in this game.
Yeah.
I think it's the two heroes we talked about the most for good reason. They played that top lane a lot better, so the Pugna and the Doom did not snowball. That is important step number one. And then step number two is dealing with them in the fight. This brew pick gave him all the utility in the world. Jabs is just not allowing Save to do anything in these skirmishes. Just on top of him, solo killing him, ruining the decreps, lifting him.
I've never heard that voice line before.
What?
The stop hitting yourself line?
That's a great Brewmaster line.
What?
Is that a Brewmaster or is that
No,
Terrorblade
it's
line?
Terrorblade.
Oh, I thought it was Brewmaster.
What?
Yeah, it's the reflection.
Yeah.
I swear, I thought Brewmaster was something similar. Yeah, maybe I'm delusional.
I mean, how does Brewmaster make you hit yourself?
Well, he says something similar. I guarantee you, in all of his voice lines, there's something of like,
What was that? XD? What are we talking? Misclick? Oh, he tipped Nightfall.
Dire are scanning.
He tipped Nightfall and then said misclick. Nightfall responded XD.
maybe it was a misclick. Maybe it wasn't. We'll never know.
Storm Panda will go with scouting. But there
flank
is
from BetBoom.
BetBoom flanking in from the side.
Got a
One
deep
Light
ops.
Shadow's going to be used. So they need a sentry. There it is. Ward sentry behind them.
I mean, they know no one's defending this throne right now. 23 runs into
23
him.
has sniffed it out. And Save, he'll be the first to die. Ooh, dagging right back at you.
You just said it twice more.
Avalanche after the disruption, go in for the top, but look at that, the Storm Panda stopping the Juggernaut from getting 80 damage during that pine. Easy Sunder going off for 23 Savage. Boom! He's gonna come in, but the Global Silence immediately going off. 23 actually does lose his Aegis though.
Radiance
Now the Swiss Slash bounced around, full out Omni Slash onto Q attempted. Doesn't stick onto him though. Bounced over the creep wave. Arrow comes through, hits Pure, BK beat still. Meanwhile, the Tornado onto the Juggernaut while they go for the throne. They do have the Glyph though. That'll help him. Now the Doom actually did go out and he got him with the Swift Slash. He could keep up. He can maybe
Can't
bring him
keep
down.
up.
Oh, he's too slow.
And the throne is just gone. Yeah. You can chase all you want, but your buildings haven't